Hello, Mr. Jonas.
Hello.
Welcome to the University of Roehampton.
Thank
Back
you.
again.
It's
Your
nice to-
sacred home ground.
Yeah.
Where you were born, where you were forged in the fires, right here.
Yeah,
How's it been back?
it's good. It's good. This was my first ever esports job. I feel like I got it completely by accident. I was at the right time at the right place. Was in some esports meetings with I remember senior leadership team, and they were like after the meeting, was just like, what were the terms they said? And I was like, oh, like Counter-Strike is this, League is this, and then they're like, you know what you're talking about? Come on,
You know your stuff. You're hired.
Exactly.
That's
pretty much.
brilliant. That's brilliant. I always loved how you just fell into the role.
Yeah. The reason why I fell into was I was doing League of Legends content on my own YouTube channel at home, and I was just like, when people say how did you get into esports? It's just like content. I started doing content, and through that, there were opportunities here, there, and there, and it's just something automatically fell in.
And that's continued. You still do content to this
Yeah.
day. So if for the people at home who don't know you, what do you do? What's your specialty?
So I'm by trade, probably the best description would be esports photographer / videographer, mainly. I worked at Roehampton Esports, I worked at British Esports, and now I run a company called Crossed Arms, which focuses on esports creatives and building a platform for esports creatives, essentially.
As a creative, how do you think the creative space has changed with the popularization of short form content? Has that affected how you were creating content 5 years ago to how you're creating content now?
Partly, yes. So when I was working at Resolve Esports, my focus was specifically on photography and long form videos. So behind the scenes content, long documentaries and all of that. And we had another person, Mateus, doing all of the short form stuff.
Okay.
But short form is so incredibly important that if I were to join an esports org, or if I were to start my own esports org, short form content is absolutely what we're focusing on, because that's what gets you. Short form content will get you new people looking at your organization, and long form documentaries will make them from just basic people who know you to actually care and engage.
Get them to stay. Short form gets them here. Long form keeps them interested. Essentially.
Absolutely. And all of my filming has changed as well, in a sense that all of the framing and everything like that is. All of the videos of the film have the bars in the middle showing where the vertical cut would be, and everything is framed essentially perfectly. So in the past it used to be rule of thirds, you have to place your target here. Here. It's everything's in the middle.
Rule of middle.
Exactly,
rule of straight down the middle for TikTok. No, I love that. Do you think where do you think the esports landscape is compared to obviously we had the boom in COVID, and then I feel those numbers have slowly but surely gone down. Where do you think the esports landscape is in general? Do you feel it going up? Is it going to stalemate?
I think it's still trying to the whole industry is trying to correct. You've seen recently, what was it, NRG and Dark Zero combining together, one of them buying the other one. Esports is still sort of in a place where I feel there's so many teams who aren't sustainable, or if you want to be sustainable, you have to either have Saudi money or gambling money. Yeah. And if you don't want to do either of those, then it's tough. It's tough. If you look at how many core British esports teams we have, you have Fnatic, but just Fnatic in my head, Fnatic is a British brand, British team, but also there doesn't feel we're more it's because LEC and everything like that.
They're
in my
Belgian.
head, in my head they're more European / German org as opposed to British.
No, I get what you're
and then Endpoint doesn't have any teams competing. Resolve doesn't have any teams competing. You have smaller teams who are sort of doing tier 2, tier 3 stuff. Yeah. But it's rough out there.
Yeah, I think it's rough. Yeah, it seems like a bit of a money pit if you don't have that infinite money pit. Well, so what obviously you were at British Esports for 4 years, I think.
4.5, something
4
like that.
years, and you made the decision to step away and kind of go your own way. What were some of the challenges you were facing there? Why did you decide to kind of step back?
So the main reason was I loved working there. It was a great place to work, and we had teams boot camping, we had different tournaments and everything like that. But I just looked at the calendar for a year ahead, and I realized that all of the big projects that we're working on are going to be the same ones that I did for the last 4 years. It's just student champs and Bet Show in London and all of those things. And I go I've done all of these things, and there's no room for growth. There's nothing I can try and do things differently, but also I've done them 3 different times already, 3 variations. And I just thought you know what, it's time to actually try and freelance and see how it works out. It didn't It didn't work out.
But you know, you're brave to take that step. Not a lot of people would.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I was trying to think like, you know, in 20, 30 years when I'm old, and it's just like, I'm gonna go and regret and just like never actually trying it properly. So I tried it. It didn't work. I know what didn't work.
Yeah.
I know what to do next better. And it's like one of those things where like I am happy I did it because I know what didn't work. And now I know what skills I didn't have. For example, like I was always very much work focused. In my head, it was always like, if you produce amazing work, you'll have work. Yeah. So for example, when we used to go to events like Bet Show or like Student Champs or whatever, I would, after the event's finished, I would go back to a hotel. I would edit all the photos, get all the videos done, so it's out on socials and everything like that. While all the other staff members, like most staff members, would go out, you know, and do some team building exercises or like networking. Networking with all the other vendors and things like that. And as soon as I went freelancing, I went like, oh, here's my amazing work, and like, what's my network? It's like, oh, because we're always working, I don't have that network. So like in my head, like now, every single time someone goes out for drinks or it's just like, do you want to go networking? It's just like, absolutely. Like I hate networking with passion. Like I've read so many books, listened to so many podcasts of like, how do you introduce yourself? Like there's a group of people talking, like how do you approach them? And like, what do you say? And it's just like, there's small little things. And as it turns out, it's actually not scary. It's actually surprisingly
just going
doable.
up like, can I join?
Yeah. The only problem is like, because I live now in Newcastle, and Newcastle just doesn't have many esports kind of things. Like it has like gaming companies and things like that, but like esports events or like networking events, it's either Manchester or London.
Needs to be down here. All right. Well, you learn from your failures.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's rule one. Do you still get to play the esports you spend so much time covering? Is the love of the game still there for you, Jonas?
It is. Absolutely. Like I watch more esports when I actually play esports.
Yeah.
Like CS is the best example. Like if I could play one game for the rest of my life, it absolutely would be just Counter-Strike. Like I had a discussion with friends and they said like, oh no, for them League of Legends would be, because every 2 weeks there's a new patch, so it always stays fresh. But like I feel like Counter-Strike is just one of those games that you can just forever play. But like I haven't played a game of CS in probably like a year and a half. But I still watch CS like every weekend it's on.
Wow.
And it's just like Apex I haven't played in a year, but I watched religiously the full championship and I did content around it. Arc Raiders isn't an esports, it's the only game I play, but like the reason why I play Arc Raiders is because it's so like I'm in a super friendly lobbies where no one shoots at each other. Like I don't even worry about like it's the weirdest escape extraction shooter. But I just do it like I do this as a chill thing. I go shoot some robots, I do some quests, I go to sleep at 10 p.m. Like I reached the point where like, and there was a post on X yesterday. It's just someone saying like, "Oh, I respect the hustle of anyone still doing their own thing in esports who's older than 30 years old." And I go like, "Oh no, Jesus Christ, what are you doing
that
to me?"
That one cut deep. That one is like right at the heart.
Because like in my head, it's just like because I like at British Esports working with students and Resolve with esports players and like Roehampton with students as well. Like I don't have like most of my friends are in esports as well. And everyone like no one's mature enough to like talk about, you know, stocks and shares or like having babies and things like that. And I go like, someone goes, how old are you? And I go like, I'm 33. And I go like, oh Jesus Christ, that just hurts every single time.
But at least you'll know the next patch.
Exactly.
So you're always up to date. I think that's all from me, Jonas. Thank you so much for sitting down and just kind of going through just a little bit of the industry and just getting your insights. I really appreciate your time and all the best going forward.
Yes, thank you.